Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to School of Science. My name is Luke and this is the Everton Stadium update for the 27th of July 2024. So going over the site today, I've decided to do a couple of little areas where I pay a little bit more particular attention because a couple of people have actually said to me that they want to try and see things in a little bit more detail. So I've made a bit of an intention of trying to catch things that we've, potentially because of missed and everything, and trying to get a little bit more detail. Those being the likes of the fan plaza, the little bits on the south stand and a little bits on the west stand. And I think I'll do a little bit around the inner bowl as well, but we'll get to that when we actually get to it. But yeah, so looking over the east stand now. So everything there, all done and dusted. We're not seeing too much in terms of an update now. I've got a feeling most of the stuff is going to be focused, like 99% of it is going to be on the fan plaza itself rather than stuff on the stadium, if you get where I'm coming from. The only thing that's left to really do is the black facade on the northeast corner. You can actually see it from the video itself. But overall, everything seems to be done. It's mostly just clean up and just finishing off little bits here and there. And someone did actually mention this, and I'm going to have to probably agree with them on this one. So someone did actually mention that so you can actually see where the barrel cladding is. You can see that the vent covers are a little bit, how can I put it? They're not symmetrical, unlike on the west stand. And whilst I agree with you on that one, with all due respect, when you're on the ground and looking at them, you can't really see them all too much. You know that they're there, but it's not something that can really, it won't bother you, if you want my honest opinion, because when I'm standing in, I'm looking at it from both the perspective of the drone and on the ground. It is massively different when you're seeing it from above, but when you see it from the ground, and even when we're having like the evening games and night games, I don't even think you'll see it then. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it. And I've got a feeling when you've got the actual vents over on the other side, that might even block out the look even further, so it might blend in even better then. But yeah, going over the fan plaza at the moment, there are a few things to actually mention as we go over here. So we can see that the phase 2, so all the stuff close to the stadium and everything is moving along rather nice. I do try and come around onto the sides so you can actually see it in a bit more detail. So I do it around about now, and we see quite a lot. I say we see quite a lot. There's only so much you can really see. So right now you can actually see that they're working on it sectionally, so they're doing chunk by chunk, and I wouldn't mind people actually telling me what's going on with the tarmac. So someone did actually mention this on Mr. Jones' channel. They mentioned what's going on with the tarmac, and I'm not 100% certain myself. So if anyone who knows what's going on there can actually say, that would be awesome. I would really appreciate the mention on what's actually going on. But yeah, the phase 2 is looking rather nice. It is coming along really well. Everything is moving along as it should be, as I will say for like 1,000 times in this video. But overall, I really can't complain. I'm happy with the progress that's going on. I can't wait for this thing to actually open up and whatnot. Now, I do actually pan over here in a second, so we do actually take particular attention to the foliage and everything around the site. So you can see where the tracks are. You can see in between the tracks and in line with the tracks, there are actually like these little potters where you've got plants as well as trees and whatnot. I do try and actually zoom in and get a little bit of attention on them. They look really nice. I do admit they are nice. So apparently they are local to the area, so they're not actually going to affect any surrounding areas. But to be honest, they're potted. They're not going to affect the area even if they weren't like indigenous to that particular area. But they're designed so that they can actually take the heavy winds and everything, and the benefit from both dry weather and wet weather. So they're not particularly, fussed about what's going on around them. And we do actually get a nice little look at the wall as well. So that's one thing a lot of people seem to actually miss out, especially with a lot of the drone flyers. So we're focused on a lot of the stuff around the stadium and everything, but one we don't actually pay particular attention on is over here. So I actually get a good look at the wall here, so you can actually see that the wall is all done. So all the walls have actually been restored and they look like they fit in with the background. I'm assuming with time they'll actually blend back in properly and they'll age like what they were, so it'll look like that it's just something that's been cut out rather than the sections of the wall have been taken out and they've been replaced. Also, I've noticed you can see a little couple of dots there, so I'm assuming what's going to happen there is we're going to have a few bike racks. So you can actually see some bike racks at the very back of site here, like covered ones, but I'm assuming these will be exposed ones. they could even be covered as well. I can't confirm 100%, but I'm going to take a safer guess and say that we are going to have a lot of bike racks here. So they are trying to go for a very green initiative on this site. This is what the solar panels are as well. So the solar panels themselves, they're progressing rather nicely. And someone did actually mention this on Twitter, and I agree with them. So Borussia Dortmund, on the top of one of their roofs, they've actually got the solar panels in the shape of the badge. So I think we could probably do something similar with the North Stand. So they could have two approaches on this. So you could have it so you could actually have actual solar panels and increase the energy production on the site. Or they could use dummy panels, and we could actually do an Everton crest on the North Stand's roof itself. Now, bear in mind, we are restricted on what we can actually do on the site, whether it be, regarding height or even design. Just because with it being a heritage site, they want things to try and blend in a little bit and not stand out too much. Hence the reason why, if you go down Central Quay, you'll actually see one of the apartment complexes that they're building right by the Isle of Man ferry terminal is very much blending in with the background. So it's like a brick design, so it suits the industrial design of the area and everything. So the likes of the Titanic Hotel, the Tobacco Warehouse, and the buildings all around there, they all have a brick and Victorian/Georgian era design. So we've got to sort of abide by that to an extent, and so will the likes of the other people around the site and whatnot. So hence the reason why we couldn't do big Everton badges and everything all around the stadium and whatnot. But yeah, coming across the South Stand though, it is looking really nice. So you've got the cladding on the base of the windows. That's what I'm trying to pay particular attention to, as well as stuff along the ground that we can see. They were working fairly hard when I got over there yesterday. So bear in mind, this is actually Sunday and it's around midday at the moment. So apologies on this one being a little bit later than what it should be. I've been fairly tied up with a lot of stuff at the moment. But it's nice to see the progress going along as it is. And I've also got a nice little video for Toffee Bluecast. So I've actually done a separate one. So we'll either be doing a video. I'm not sure when they're going to do the video itself, but we have got a special video for them. So it's a unique one. It's not like a carbon copy of this one. It's one that's actually going to suit their sort of style of channel and everything. But yeah, everything is progressing really nicely. It's good to see. So you got the little planters as well. So they are actually planters there on the southwest corner. I have to think about that every time. So there's going to be trees as well as all the little plant life and everything there. So we're going to have a nice little bit of greenery on that corner. But yeah, so this is one of the main pieces that a lot of people want to pay attention, want to see as well. So the West Stand itself is now, the barrel cladding itself is now done. And it looks lovely. As I said, the symmetry of the vent points going across is a really nice touch as well. So each one of them, I'm assuming where they are, we're talking, pardon me, I was about to sneeze then. We're talking, so a lot of AC and everything, because the West Stand is your media area as well as your executives and directors. So you want them to be living in the life of luxury and everything. You're making sure that the peasants and everyone else don't have to worry about the air conditioning and whatnot, where they're going to be going. But the executives and all them, they need to make sure that they're at just the right temperature, because we know those sorts of people, they can only operate on a very certain temperature. I'm taking the piss, obviously. But it is really nice to see that they've got everything looking nice and symmetrical on this side. And it would be nice, if you're going across, like if you're on one of the cruise ships and everything, you'll see this side of it and it looks really nice, really clean and professional. But going over now on the courtyards and the car park. So they're very close to being finished with the, not even dredging, the digging out of the sands and everything. So they're pretty soon going to get the water and everything flowing back into there. Now, I do actually, later on in the video, I do get a nice little focus on the concrete side. So someone did actually mention in one of the videos why they've only done the concrete on one side and on the other. My educated guess would be because you've still got a dock wall on the other side. So what will probably happen is they'll just dredge out that entire area, they'll get the water through, and that dock side, that wall there will be sound. They don't need to pay any attention to that. So they only need to worry about the side that we're on here, just for the fact that we didn't really have a dock wall side there. So that's that. That's all I can really say about it. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a mess today. I'm trying to think of things on the fly, and there's not been too much in terms of information released by Everton. The only things I've really been able to do is scrap things together from other drone flyers, so I'm using their information and putting it on the channel. But an interesting one I've just noticed as well. So you can see like a little mini stairway there. So I'm assuming someone did actually ask as well what they're going to do about the stairs themselves. I do think they're probably going to keep this the grayscale look. I'm not sure if they're going to put anything over them, but we'll see. Time will tell. I'm assuming there will be some sort of overlay that's going to be on them, because it's all nice and well and good having the industrial look, but that sort of stuff will stain and tarnish quite easily, in my opinion. And I think there will be something over the top to sort of protect them. But to be fair though, that's the exact same sort of concrete that's going to be inside the stadium. You've got it in the stairway and everything, so I'm assuming it'll hold the test of time. But yeah, as we progress along now, we're going to go over to the North Stand, and as we know, there's not too much going on with the North Stand, so we're going to use that time to sort of talk about Everton itself. So yesterday we took on Salford, and as we know, we got beat 2-1. Well, it was an unfortunate game, really. We played really well up until the point when we started making the mass subs. I think the team that we had out in the first half, a few little changes here and there would have helped, but we kind of made a mass change and things went a bit awry after that. It was mainly down to the young. I can't even put blame, to be honest. Everyone did actually do their part really well, and it was a shame that the result didn't actually turn out well. I just think we do have to bolster the squad a little bit. I know Tarkowski's out still. I think he might actually be coming back for the Preston game. So I think he's going to miss the Coventry game soon, but I think he'll be back for the Preston game. And I believe Branthwaite will probably make a little feature there. And possibly even Pickford. Pickford's still on his jollies at the moment after taking part in the European international duties and everything. But I think he'll probably be back for the Roma game, if I'm not mistaken. It's either going to be the Preston game or the Roma game. I'm going to say Preston, but I've got a good chance that it's going to more likely be the Roma one. But yeah, as we're looking on the inside now of the pitch, so we can actually see there's a lot of tarp and everything being put into place. So right now we're facing the east stand right now, so we're looking at the east stand. So that tarp itself, if I'm not mistaken, so they've now battered everything down and got it almost perfectly flat. So that tarp itself's over the parts where it's flat, and they're just going to keep doing that and progressing along nice and slowly on it. So from what I've been told, it's going to be around mid to late August when we're going to start seeing the grass getting put in and everything. So it is going to get seeded, and then from there we're going to get the nylon threading being put in. So like I've mentioned before, it's pretty much like I think it's 95% natural grass and then 5% of the nylon threading. So it'll be interesting to see that machine getting put into action, and we'll probably even see the artificial lights being put in. Oh, I've just noticed there. So if you look at the south stand right now in the dead centre, you can see two little post points. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, is that where the goalposts are going to be? That looks generally like where the goalposts are going to be. So there's one I've not noticed any of the drone flyers actually mention. But yeah, so you can actually see where the goalposts are going to be from the looks of it. But overall though, a lot of work has gone into the site right now. So the thick black tubing that you can see across the edge of the pitch, and from what I've been told, that is actually the drainage piping, so that's going to get covered over soon, and it's going to get linked in with a drainage system that's going to go across the grass, so when we have wet days or any rainy days like that, it's going to be able to drain through the soil itself into that and get pushed out. And I'm not sure whether it'll go into the wastewater treatment next door, whether it'll be pumped out into the Mersey. I don't think it could be pumped out into the Mersey, because that would be polluting in a sense, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm going to say that an awful lot. If I'm correct. Because, as you know, I'm not a massive expert into these sorts of things, and the research that I get, it's kind of, they give you information, but it's very vague information if you get where I'm coming from. But overall, the site is looking really nice. We're coming along really well. So hopefully, in the near future, we can see a little bit more progress. But in any case, guys, hope you have a great week. Take care, and up the fucking toffees.